Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show where I'm Damien Farr, and tonight we were talking about, well, I've been hyping it up for since Monday at least, the PlayStation Vita. And I know what you're thinking, Damien, why are we talking about the Vita? Well, I feel like the Vita is a great underrated system that I feel like a lot of people should have, honestly. So, we're going to talk about the Vita a little bit in depth here. This may be an actually long video. I mean, I'm thinking, this could be a pretty long one on just the Vita itself. I wanted to talk about it, and I had a little notes, but I started adding more and more in my head as I kind of went along. So, a lot of this is off the cusp, like normally it is, but still. So, we're talking about the PlayStation Vita. Why are we talking about the Vita once again? It's a good underrated system. I mean, that's the biggest thing to point out. It's a pretty underrated system that not many people have, and that I feel you should get now before you can't get it, really. I have the original model here. I don't own the Model 2. I got a Japanese model. They're not region locked, so that's always a positive. So you can work with any game except digital. I mean, digital, you're kind of screwed there. You can only work with certain ones. But I got the Japanese PlayStation Vita because I wanted to, when I bought this a couple of years ago, I bought it new. And even though I don't plan on using it, I wanted the ability to get the cell reception option. Even though I'm not going to use it, I wanted to have it just because my OCD makes me have to get the best version, so this was the best version, so that's what I got. So let's start talking about games pretty quick. I got a couple on here. We're going to list off a couple here. So we got Flower, Super Star Wars, for some reason is in front of Minecraft. I don't know what happened there. Let's fix that right now, actually, before I forget. So I think, honestly, the Vita, like I said, is an underrated system. But we got Flower, Minecraft PS Vita Edition, Risk of Rain, Super Star Wars, Ultra Core, and Uncharted The Golden Abyss, which I actually have here as a physical game. This is one of my 2 physical games. I wanted to show it off here. But you can have them managed. I mean, there's 7 games there. Then I also got a Metal Gear one where I got Metal Gear Solid VR missions, Metal Gear Solid HD, which is what I have here, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, and Portable Ops Plus. So those are all the games on my Vita. Now, you're going to ask the question right away, what is my favorite one so far? Honestly, this feels just like an Uncharted 1 game, but I wouldn't say this is the one that I keep coming back to. So far, of the games that I've played on it, I've mainly been playing PSP games. I played Star Wars Battlefront 2 a lot on it, because you go from where the PSP has the 1 stick, not 2, so you have to use X, square, circle, triangle for the other way, so you gotta use those together, which kind of sucks, but after a while I was kind of like, I don't really want to play these on there. And I don't know why I put Peace Walker, Portable Ops, and Portable Ops Plus on here. I don't know why, honestly. I could have probably just kept them on the PSP. I have a PSP Go, but personally I felt like putting them on here and having a Metal Gear portable machine was kind of cool, so I went with that. So, honestly, the games, there are a lot of great games. I don't have nearly any of them. I mean, look at the games I have. Uncharted, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, some other Metal Gear games, and some downloadable games. I'm not a huge, I need all these games. So, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. I want to do some comparisons, though. We're doing a lot of face cam here. So, we're going to transition over here and then use the Bond cam. So, I mean, let's do the quick comparison. This is a small card. I got to say that. Size-wise, we're going to have the sizes listed all around here. So, this is a 32 gigabyte SD card, and this is the PS Vita. It's, honestly, you can't really tell here, but it's thinner. It's a little thinner. Which is one of the things that I was concerned about when I first got it. I was like, why is it so thin? So, normal SD card. I don't have a micro SD card because, well, they're in stuff, so why would I break it out? But it's really small, honestly. Here's the UMD, comparing it to the UMD, which I wish they would have continued with, honestly. UMDs were a cool idea. Universal Media Disc, it's kind of like a mini disc, but I feel like that would have been the way they should have went, but it's considerably smaller than a UMD, honestly. So let's go ahead and put the UMD back in its case before I forget about it. So UMD is bigger, but I think UMD was honestly the way they should have went, and then it could have been backwards compatible with PSP without doing digital. But going with it here, the 3DS, I got Metal Gear Solid 3D Snake Eater, which Snake Eater is included in this as well. A lot smaller once again. A lot smaller. Like, considerably smaller. But I'm just kind of like, I'm afraid I'm going to break them. Like, they have a little flex to them, and I don't like that. That's a concern in my book. But Snake Eater 3D, put it back in the thing. And then finally, we got one last game to compare to, a Switch game. And I know what you're thinking, Damien. You're not talking about a Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS. To be honest, a DS cartridge is the same as a 3DS cartridge without a nub on the side. But here it is next to a Switch cartridge. They're about the same size, but thickness once again, it is not thick at all. Like this is what I would want. This is scary to me, honestly. That's my biggest drawback with the PS Vita, is it doesn't seem like it's the system itself seems really well built, but the actual cartridges here, the Vita cards as they call them, don't seem that great. Also, the case, it's cool. Like, that's a cool case, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing in it. Like, even going to portable ops here as an portable ops here as an option, even that has like a thick boy manual. And then even similar with a Snake Eater, it's got a small manual, but it's got a manual. I mean, there's a manual in there. So the fact is, it seems weird that you made this really nice case for nothing, really. Don't get me wrong, the Switch cases are pretty similar, but at least with the Switch case, you get some artwork in there. This is just blue. Like, so personally, the Switch case is a lot to owe to the PSP case, honestly, before we get too far into it. But I mean, seriously, this is one of those situations where I think they could have did a little better there. They could have also made these smaller. This case doesn't need to be this big, is what I've been saying to myself for a while now. But honestly, this system is great. So what I've been saying multiple times is, I'm not an expert. I'm no gaming expert. But you get crossplay saves with the PlayStation 3, so I don't have it with. But this works amazing because my save for Metal Gear Solid 3 that I just started on PlayStation 3, I can transfer over to this and keep playing it on the go. And it looks pretty similar to the PlayStation 3 counterpart. It's not exact. I'm not going to say it's the best look ever, but it's close. Same with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. It's pretty close as well. So that's cool. That is a cool feature. Why did Sony not push that? Here, if you buy a game here, they should also push it where the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale situation. You buy it for this, you get it for that for free. Like, if they would have done that, it could have been like the Switch, honestly. This thing would have sold probably better than the Switch. Because, man, a lot of people would be wanting to play their console games on the go. Like, make it even easier, honestly, because the little content manager was a little bit messed up. If they make a Vita 2, make it where it plugs into a little dock, kind of like the Switch, but it links with like a PlayStation 5. So you plug it in, all your saves from here go to the PlayStation 5 and vice versa. Make it a little bit easier. That's part of the reason this thing failed, is it was not easy. I mean, if we were to show you here, I got all this other crap. Content manager. That's what you needed to use. That was what was important. And this is messed up too. This is in the wrong spot. So, it was one of those things where you needed to go to content manager and transfer the saves back and forth. That's a lot of work. honestly, comparatively to a Switch where you can just undock it. So maybe if they make a V2, which I hope they do, just dock, connects to PlayStation 5, any game saves you have there, or on this, transfer over, and then if you want to transfer them over, you just hit a button. Boom. Easy. Easy. So that was one of the cool things. And then also you had remote play. So say you didn't want to go anywhere, but you wanted to use this as your screen, like a Switch in a way, or a Wii U. Well, laying in bed at night, just playing my games like this. I mean, you could do that. This thing was ahead of its time. This thing, pretty much, in my mind, the Wii U merged into one and made the Switch. That's really what it is. So, Sony, you could do this again, and you could make this good. Like, actually good. Just a little bit of updates here, and this thing would be selling like hotcakes. I mean, seriously. Dock? I get that Nintendo has the dock idea. Make it a little dock that you plug it into, plugs right into the PlayStation 5, and boom! Saves are transferred. It's easy, but it'd be amazing. Also, part of the reason why people didn't buy this is, honestly, there's a lot of indie games on here, but other than that, there's not many AAA titles that are like must-have titles. A lot of them are similar to this, where it's just console ports, which isn't bad, but it's still like, this thing had so many unique features. Touchscreen, touchpad, which I kind of don't like, honestly. When I grip it, my hands don't grip this. My hands grip like this. This is how I grip it, which isn't the right way in Sony's mind. So maybe with the next one, get rid of the touchpad. Save yourself a little money there. And just leave it with a touch screen. Then it interfaces pretty good with a PlayStation 5 controller, honestly, because they got the same things. And then maybe if you can, find a way to make triggers. So instead of L1 and R1, you get L1 and L2 as well. That'd maybe be the only things I'd say update. Maybe make the sticks just a hair better, because they're a little small. Make them maybe actually PlayStation 5 sticks. Boom. There's some upgrades that they can do, but this thing is good. If you have one, you know what I mean. It's a good system overall. There's just some cons that really made it not great. And if they fix those cons, this thing would sell amazing. There's also the fact that they didn't really market it. The PSP they marketed. I'd see ads all the time for a PSP growing up. And I was like, I want one of these. And eventually I bought a PSP Go. This they did not market at all. Probably because it wasn't making money, but still. Sony could have done amazing with this. This could have been the thing that made Nintendo worry a bit. Because, let's be honest, the PSP sold pretty well, but nowhere near the DS. The PS Vita sold nowhere near the 3DS. Like, if they would have supported this and made this thing what I feel it could have been, they could have gave Nintendo a run for their money. But it's sad, but they didn't. So, the failure of the PS Vita, what do you think? What do you think they could have done to fix it? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.